Assalamu alaikum students. Hope you're all doing well. In our English class today, we are going to be studying a new chapter, Amin and the Eggs. Please open your English Broadway books to page number 11. Before we start, please make sure to write today's date and day on top of the page. Let's look at the first exercise now. Look at the pictures below. What will happen next? Draw or write your answer in the box beside each picture. इस सवाल में हमें पिक्चर्स को देखकर प्रिडिक्ट करना है about what's going to happen next. हमारे पास दो ऑप्शंस हैं. हम अपने आंसर को रिटन फॉर्म में प्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं या उसको डायग्रामेटिकली भी रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं. Let's look at the first picture. What do you see in it? Yes, you're right. The hen has laid eggs. After the eggs are laid, what happens next? The eggs will hatch into chicks. So, in the empty box right beside the picture, please write, the eggs will hatch into chicks. You can also draw your answer like this. Now, let's look at the second picture. We can see that a man is sowing some seeds into the soil. एक आदमी ने soil में बीज बो दिए हैं. What's going to happen next, students? The seeds will grow into plants. Now write your answer in the box like this. Remember that you can also present your answer diagrammatically. Good job, class. We are done with our first exercise, so let's move on to the next one. Let's read this really interesting story together. Put your finger on the book and read along with me. Are you ready? Let's start. Once upon a time, there was a man called Amin. He lost all his crops in a drought. Amin decided to look for work in another village, and off he went on his donkey. Before he left, he bought a dozen hard-boiled eggs from a merchant and promised to pay him later. Let's focus on the hard words in this paragraph. There are two hard words in this paragraph. The first one is drought. Look at the small yellow box right beside the paragraph. Drought rhymes with doubt. A long period of time when there is no rain. Drought को उर्दू में खुश्क साली कहते हैं. मतलब जब बारिश नहीं होती. So when rain doesn't fall, crops do not grow, फसल नहीं उगती, and people don't have food to eat, so they starve and become malnourished. The second hard word is merchant. Merchant means trader. मर्चेंट को उर्दू में ताजिर बोलते हैं. सो इस पैराग्राफ में राइटर ने लिखा है कि वंस अपॉन अ टाइम एक आदमी जिसका नाम अमीन था ने अपनी सारी फसल एक ड्राउट में खो दी. उसने फिर ये डिसीजन लिया कि वो एक दूसरे विलेज जाएगा टू वर्क एंड ही रोड टू द अदर विलेज ऑन हिज डोंकी. जाने से पहले उसने एक ताजिर से 12 उबले हुए अंडे लिए एंड प्रॉमिस टू पे हिम फॉर द एग्स लेटर. Moving on to the next paragraph. 7 years later, Amin returned to his village. He came on a fine black horse. Behind him was a camel carrying bags full of gold and silver coins. Amin was a rich man now. The news soon spread through the village. There are no hard words in this paragraph. 7 years later, Amin अपने गांव वापस आया एक शानदार काले घोड़े पर. उसके पीछे एक कैमल था जिस पर सोने और चांदी के सिक्के लाद दिए गए थे. अमीन अब एक अमीर आदमी हो गया था और ये खबर जल्द ही पूरे विलेज में फैल गई थी. Soon the merchant who had given him the dozen boiled eggs knocked at Amin's door. Pay back the debt you owe me, he said. Give me 500 silver coins for the eggs you bought. Amin refused to pay him such a large sum. So the merchant took his complaint to the judge. There is one hard word in this paragraph. That is Debt. Look at the definition of debt in the yellow box. It says, debt rhymes with get, money that you have borrowed and have to pay back. Debt को उर्दू में उधार कहते हैं. It means the money that you owe someone. जल्द ही जिस ताजिर से अमीन ने एग्स लिए थे उसके दरवाजे पर खटखटाता हुआ पहुंचा and he demanded his money back. उसने अपने एग्स के लिए 500 सिल्वर कॉइन्स मांगे जो सिर्फ 12 एग्स के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा थे. अमीन ने इसीलिए इतनी बड़ी रकम देने से मना कर दिया जिसकी वजह से मर्चेंट के मसला लेकर जज के पास चला गया. The merchant appeared in court, but there was no sign of Amin. The judge waited and waited. Suddenly, Amin rushed in, out of breath. At once, the merchant said, "My lord, 7 years ago, this man took 12 eggs from me. 12 eggs would have become 12 chickens. These chickens would have become hens and cocks. The hens would have laid more eggs. The eggs would have hatched into chickens. After 7 years, I would have had a large flock of birds. Now, Amin must pay me 500 silver coins for all the birds I have lost." There are 4 hard words in this paragraph. The first hard word is out of breath. The definition of out of breath as given in the yellow box is breath rhymes with death, breathing with difficulty after running. आउट ऑफ ब्रेथ को उर्दू में सांस फूलना कहते हैं. जब आप रन करते हो या कोई एक्सरसाइज करते हो तो आपका सांस फूलने लगता है एंड यू ब्रीथ हेवीली. द सेकेंड हार्ड वर्ड इज माई लॉर्ड. द डेफिनेशन ऑफ माई लॉर्ड इज a phrase you use to address a judge. The third word is hatched. Of an egg, to open and produce a young animal. The fourth one is a flock of birds, which means a number of birds of the same kind feeding, resting and traveling together. इसका उर्दू में मतलब परिंदों की एक बड़ी तादाद है. ताजिर कोर्ट में हाजिर हुआ और अमीन का कोई अता पता नहीं था. जज इंतजार करता रहा कि अचानक अमीन कोर्ट में हाजिर हुआ एंड ही वाज आउट ऑफ ब्रेथ. मर्चेंट ने एकदम से कहा, "माय लॉर्ड, 7 years ago, अमीन ने मुझसे 12 अंडे लिए थे. वो 12 अंडे 12 मुर्गियों में बदल जाते and 12 chickens would grow into 12 hens which would have laid more eggs जिनसे और chickens निकलती. 7 साल बाद मेरे पास hens की एक बड़ी तादाद होती. This is why Amin must give me 500 coins to cover up my loss." "You are right," agreed the judge. He turned to Amin with an angry look and said, "What do you have to say? And, by the way, why are you late?" There are no hard words in this paragraph. जज ने ताजिर की बात में हामी भरी और अमीन को गुस्से से देखते हुए कहा, "अब तुम अपने डिफेंस में क्या कहोगे? And, by the way, तुम इतनी देर से क्यों आए हो?" Amin said, "My lord, I had a plate of boiled beans in the house. Before coming here, I planted them in the garden so that I will have a good crop next year." "Fool!" exclaimed the judge. "How can boiled beans grow into anything?" Amin replied, "Yes, indeed, my lord, and how can boiled eggs hatch into chickens?" And that's how Amin won his case. There are no hard words in this paragraph. Amin ने कहा, "My lord, मेरे पास घर पर उबली हुई फलियों की एक प्लेट थी. यहाँ आने से पहले मैंने उन्हें गार्डन में बो दिया था ताकि अगले साल मेरे पास अच्छी फसल हो." जज ने अमीन को बेवकूफ़ कहते हुए कहा कि "How can boiled beans grow into plants?" अमीन ने जवाब दिया कि इसी तरह बॉइल्ड एग्स कैसे हेंस में हैच हो सकते हैं, और इस तरह अमीन ने अपनी जहानत से अपना केस विन कर लिया. That was quite an interesting story, wasn't it? Okay, so now open your English notebooks and create a title page like this. Write today's date and day on top of the page And then in the next line, write the name of the chapter along with the chapter number like this. Then in the next line, write reading and explanation done. Leave a line and divide the page into 2 columns by drawing a line like this. Put in the heading word in one column and meaning in the other. Now write the hard words that we discussed in the story. There were a total of 7 hard words. The first one is drought. Write the meaning of drought next to it. A long period of time when there is no rain. The second word is merchant. The definition of merchant is trader. The third hard word is debt. The definition of debt is money that you have borrowed and have to pay back. The fourth hard word is out of breath. The definition of out of breath is breathing with difficulty after running. The fifth hard word is flock of birds. The definition of flock of birds is a number of birds of same kind feeding, resting, or traveling together. The sixth hard word is hatch. The definition of hatch is of an egg, open, and produce a young animal. The seventh hard word is my lord, a phrase you use to address a judge. Okay class, that is the end of today's lecture. Hope you all understood everything and feel free to drop your questions in the comment section. I'll see you all next class. Goodbye.